I never thought that I'd be a Christian. I never thought that I'd go to church. And I had my doubts about religion and its validity and whether it was really that great. My name is Nick Cunningham. I'm 31 years old, and throughout my life I've always believed in God and always had my own challenges, and my family struggled a lot with alcohol and drugs. My dad was the first alcoholic in my family. He would just disappear for long periods of time. Then he was out of my life for years. And as a little kid, when I was 9, 10 or whatever, you interpret that you're not enough, because why the heck wouldn't your dad want to stick around? So there has to be something wrong with you. From being a silly kid thinking, man, if I would have cleaned the kitchen, Mom and Dad wouldn't have fought and Dad wouldn't have left, you know? And you start blaming yourself. And lucky me, I was the middle child who thought that I was always holding things together. I carried a huge burden and continually felt like it was my responsibility to be there for so many people and rescue people and help people. And I mean, one time I went to bed and I just knew that I had a problem of worrying about everybody and taking on everybody's burdens. And I just started writing out a list of everybody that I worry about on a daily basis. And the list got to like 100 people. And I was like, oh, this just isn't good. I ended up with a lot of great friends and a lot of great people in my life, and I ended up doing a lot of good things, but it was sucking the life out of me. I would have this dream or vision, I guess you could say, continually. Maybe you can relate to having the same dream over and over again. And this dream was that I would come up to a bridge and I'd want to cross it. And over again it would fall, or it would crumble, or I'd finally make it to the other side and I'd be scraping to get up the cliff. And then I started having the dream, and one time this godlike figure popped into it and said, you can't cross that bridge without me. And I wanted to see what was on the other side so bad in my dream. And I'm looking at this like figure or this voice, and I'm like, that is just baloney, you know? So I kept having that, thinking I didn't need it and I was going to get across this bridge, and it was just in my head. That's all it was. And but then it became really clear that I wasn't going to get across this bridge on my own. So I prayed and I said, okay, God, I can't get across this bridge without you. I want to get to know you a little bit more. You know, what religion is right? It's like what I was thinking in my head. What religion am I supposed to be? You know, I mean, I want to get to more, I want to meet your people, but who do I talk to? And 30 minutes later, I walk out of my house to go to a meeting for work, and I sit down next to Ryan. And we briefly spoke, and I said, hey, I should get your number and really surface. We'll catch up sometime, with no intention of ever really talking to him or seeing him again. And I walk out of there behind my volunteer, and I look up and I'm like, baloney, whatever, you have to do better than that. and didn't think much of it. And then the very next day, different coffee shop, other side of town. I walk in a little bit earlier to prep for a meeting with another volunteer. As soon as I walk in the door, I see Ryan. He looks up and he's got his Bible open sitting there, and I'm like, oh, get out of here. 2 days in a row. And I didn't see Ryan for years. I know we went to high school together, but we weren't really close or friends. We ran with different crews. And so I took a deep breath and I was like, hey, Ryan, I'll text you or something. Guess I should hear what you have to say. And we got together once and I told him what had happened. And he was open to meeting with me, not as a Christian or anything, just meeting with me in the mornings every other week. And I just got to pound him with all the questions that I had. What about this? Or I don't know about this, and this doesn't make sense to me. And his answers were all great, and it was just, you know, something inside of me was changing, and I felt closer and closer to God. Such is the way of the world. It was amazing, the transformations that started happening in me. The world just became a different place. It was like a veil being pulled out from over my eyes, and it wasn't constant. I've learned that being a Christian doesn't mean life's going to be a cakewalk, and it's not about fixing all my problems. It's more about interchange and changing my perspective on the world. Jesus changed me more so than I ever thought possible by helping me understand what unconditional love is, which changed the way that I see the world and the way that I love people. For the first time, I trusted that I was lovable unconditionally, no matter what I did. And that was just a beautiful thing. a byproduct of that is I recognized I was able to start letting people be who they are, and loving them no matter what. And man, does that feel good, not feeling like people need to be something or do something or say something for you to love them. You can just love them for who they are. My name is Nick, and change is good.